Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Hope you're all having an amazing time and a great holiday season. This is me, Victor, with the Coffee with Experts, and what we have today is Albert Varkki from Baer, which is an amazing high quality leather backpack, laptop bag, wallet, belt, things that I usually spend most of my salary in. So this is a really, how can I say, really delicate topic for me, but here we are. Albert, thank you so much. How are you doing today, my friend?
Thank you, Victor. Doing great. All good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Again, I'm just two things that the viewers should know. First, as I said, I do love my leather products, so I do love the things that you sell. And if nobody's aware until now, I'm one of the biggest Messi fans overall. So when Albert turned on his webcam and I saw the signed shirt, I lost my mind entirely. Messi is the best player. I think we can start with that, Albert, instead of let's just do this quick, bonus first question. Messi or Ronaldo?
For me, Messi, but I do like Ronaldo a lot as well. Messi, what he does on the pitch is
Magical.
unbelievable, magical. It can be often said about Ronaldo the same as well,
Sure.
but in my opinion, Messi does it more, and Messi is the world champion.
I
So,
think I think for me, what stands out is that he has more of a wow factor than
yeah,
Ronaldo.
exactly.
Ronaldo does great things all the time, but when you see Messi's highlights, they usually are more wow than Ronaldo's are, right?
They are.
Uh,
And the movement, him with the ball, it's unbelievable.
it is.
It's just unbelievable.
It is beautiful to see. It is beautiful to see the same way that your products are beautiful to see. I invite
Thank you.
everybody who's here to take a look at the description down below to see his websites. We're talking about really high quality products, and I'm not kissing his ass for free. It's true. But first, let's start the podcast with what the people want to know, Albert. You started in the financial field and you worked there for over 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then right now, here you are selling high quality products to both men and women. How did that work? How did that start? When was it? What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I studied economics in the university, and in 2013, when it was my last year in the university, I started working as an audit associate in one of the big four companies. And
Okay.
that company was PricewaterhouseCoopers here in Tallinn, Estonia.
Okay.
It was a very valuable experience. And actually, that work led up to starting One Bear in the end. And the story is that the employer, they provided laptop bags to their employees.
Okay.
But
Those Dell ones, those Samsonite ones.
something like that. I
Okay.
honestly don't remember exactly the brand name, but it was like a very functional bag made of simple material, not from
Mm-hmm.
leather. It was very functional. It had lots of pockets. It was protecting the laptop well. You could put inside it some documents, books, whatever you need. But honestly, I didn't like that bag at all because it was like dull. It was not, in my opinion, it was not stylish. It was not beautiful to wear. And in general, like beautiful things. Like if you're going to use any product, why not to have it as beautiful as possible?
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. So I was using that laptop bag for my duties initially,
Okay.
but I didn't like it, and I started doing at some point of time I started doing research on the internet. Like if I could buy myself a nice leather laptop bag because I always liked like things made of nice high quality leather,
Mm-hmm.
like wallets, belts, you name it.
Yeah.
But I never had, before that time, I never had a leather laptop bag. So I started doing my research and on the internet, and I found that the bags that I really liked, like the high quality, beautiful bags, they were out of my reach financially. Their price tag was too high for me. Like in today's terms, I don't remember exact prices back then, but it was like a couple of €1,000 in 2013.
Well, that's a lot
And
of money in
today,
2013. Yeah.
it's even now it's decent money, but
Yeah,
uh, nowadays the bags like these they cost three and more thousand USD.
I see.
So they were out of my reach. And the cheaper bags, I just didn't like their design. I was not, they were not into my liking. And then an idea struck me that basically we have craftsmen here in Estonia, wherever in the world you have
Yeah.
craftsmen, leather craftsmen, people who can produce anything you like for you if you give them the materials and pay them money. I also remembered that Italy has always had a very like big leather industry, and
Yeah.
their leathers are
Famous
they have
worldwide.
very beautiful leathers. Not
Yeah.
all the leathers made in Italy are beautiful and good, but like there is a significant niche of Italian leather production that is very nice and beautiful.
Hmm.
So after some research, I found where I can buy some leather, just raw leather, but already tanned. And long story short, after buying some materials, I asked a craftsman to produce me a laptop bag. It was a
Okay.
relatively simple one in terms of functionality, but it was, in my opinion, way more beautiful than what I was just given at my work.
Hmm.
And at some point, I started receiving compliments like, "Hey, nice bag. Where did you get it? You made it like yourself. Can I get one as well? Can I buy from you?" So I got these kind of questions from people I know.
Hmm.
And at some point of time, so my best friend Igor Monte, who is a co-founder of One Baer, at some point of time I shared my thoughts with him like, "Hey, look, here's the bag that I could produce with materials I like bought from there, and what do you think if we like try to make a business out of it? Start doing this stuff on a larger scale, and
Hmm.
let's see, maybe there is a significant demand for such products. So let's see what happens." And I have to give him full credit. So his role as One Bear is huge, very important, and he he agreed to try that business out. And initially, it was not a business; it was just lots of work without any sales. Initially, many
Mm.
months of work without any sales. But basically, he joined me in that journey, entrepreneurial journey, and in 2015 we established the company officially. But the work before that, it was the work on that started in 2013.
Okay.
All the research and like many things.
Do mention
So
about the
yeah,
challenges you faced as well during this time, if you can.
do you mean the challenges in the
Starting the business when opening
right?
it up,
Yeah.
like you said, for example, at first, and I know about what you're saying. Back in Brazil, I had an iPhone store, and I know at first it was a lot of work trying to come up with, marketing things, small marketing things, who we were, the supply chain, the delivery side of things. So then we could see sales, of course, in a way lower scale. But not only that, the customer journey that you mentioned, I think is not only the same as mine, but the same as everybody else. So it all started with those backpacks, laptop backpacks with USB chargers, waterproof, that were super cozy, but they were huge. I remember they were like super thick. And when I started looking, this is a pretty ordinary brand in Brazil, but like, it's a more thinner one. So that's when I also started looking at other different bags instead of those corporate gray black ones. So I know what you mean, and I think a lot of people will also know what you mean here. We start eventually seeing how worth it is to pay for premium quality things, clothing, backpacks, as you said, leather, cars. Usually people are more resistant to the plastic cars that we have nowadays, right? So everybody's starting to see that sometimes cheap is literally not the best option, and you have to spend a little bit more to get things to last longer. So when talking about this, as I said, I would love to know about the challenges you faced at first, and you can feel free to mention whichever. But do walk us through more about the beginning of it, especially the market research part of things, the creation of the products, the feedback, the first time you were selling and receiving feedback. Like, this is your show. Just talk. We
Yeah,
would really love to see.
we started with I think two or three laptop bag models. So
Okay.
we did in the beginning we didn't have any travel bags, we didn't have any wallets, we didn't have any belts. We expanded into those categories later on. But we started with two or three, I don't remember the exact number, perhaps three laptop bag models. And Igor, he has a gift in like in design,
Oh,
even
nice.
though he has not like studied it in university. He's like
Okay.
I would say self-made, self-taught designer.
Okay.
So design, like we generally discussed what would be the features of a nice laptop bag and how like what would be the best colors, the best leather in what this laptop bag would look the best in. But he could like basically materialize those thoughts, like put it into a real design after which these laptop bags were later produced.
Okay.
The if we talk about like the biggest challenges, especially in the beginning, it was the lack of any knowledge, any knowledge. No, okay, I had like some financial background, but it was not very extensive because I was in the beginning there as well. So we didn't really know what we should be doing in order to start, growing as a business.
That's life.
We didn't know anything. So we learned all of that, like the marketing thing, the advertising, operations, design, supply chain, you name it. We learned it all during our journey, the business journey.
Okay.
We didn't have any specific advisors who could guide us what we should be doing. We didn't have any of that. And then it was like actually a smaller issue, but financially we we didn't have like any external investors, so we
Okay.
started the business just on our savings, from our savings.
And knowing that it worked was a pretty good decision, I believe so, right?
Excuse me, can you
Like
repeat, please?
knowing right now that everything worked out. I think not
Yeah,
having external investors at first was a good decision because we know it comes with pressure, it comes with more, more stress overall when you have somebody else's money into your business,
yeah.
right?
And in the early beginning, I can say that we would waste a lot of money if we were given that from external
Mm.
investors. Now we know exactly what we would be doing with like external money if we needed that. We don't need it as of now, but at least we knew what we would be doing, and I'm pretty confident that we would be successful in putting that money to work
Hmm.
for a company, for investors. Back then I think we would just waste, if not 100% of it, but like the 80% of it, whatever the amount is, we would waste a lot of it because we didn't have any knowledge what to do. Yeah.
I
So the
see.
biggest challenge was the lack of any business knowledge, not even the resources, but the lack of knowledge, which we were happy and lucky to gain over time as we were doing the business.
I see, I see. And e-commerce was a pretty big part of it as well, right?
Right, right. So we start Von Baer. Physically, we did everything in the beginning in Tallinn, Estonia.
Okay.
Um, Maybe
Beautiful
not.
city, right?
Yeah, Tallinn is a beautiful city,
It
but
is.
I don't think it's a city because the size of it. Today, it's slightly less than 500,000 people living here.
Okay.
So it's not a big city. It's a like
I
maybe
mean,
it's a big town, but not quite a city. And to put for a context, the whole country of Estonia where we are living, it has like 1.3 million people.
I see.
So the population is very small, and all of that it poses certain challenges because other than on top of small population size, the GDP per capita in Estonia, I think it's many times less than in Germany. In
Oh,
like,
really? I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know
I think
that.
it's at least three times less in terms of GDP per capita.
I see.
If not three times, two for sure.
Okay.
And so it's the economy is not that good. People are not on average not that well off, and it puts a certain limitations to growth,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you want to sell very high quality goods because they cost a lot to produce, and as a result they cost a lot to many people when
Yeah.
you're selling them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
imagine.
the size of our internal market was a major challenge, and the only way to overcome it was to start exporting our products.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And
And
yeah, sorry, please.
which is the top country that you have right now, for example? So when you guys watching this go to their website, you're gonna see a map, right, of places where bags have been delivered. And you can see that it's all over the world. But do you have like a top market where people usually buy in a higher frequency than other? Maybe the US
I would say if we view European Union
as a whole?
as a whole, um, perhaps that would be number two market for us after the US.
Okay.
Then all the English speaking countries like Canada, Australia,
Mm,
New Zealand, Ireland, United Kingdom, uh, like all of them together, they also are significant. They represent a significant share of our overall revenue.
I see.
Uh, we have we have had orders from quite for us exotic countries. Just to name a few, would be let's say Jersey Island
That
or
is
Jersey Island,
exotic.
Jersey,
Yeah, it is.
Madagascar,
That's also exotic.
Madagascar, and yeah, and some more. But for the most part, it's basically Europe, United States, and English-speaking countries. And actually, the fourth worth mentioning would be Middle Eastern countries,
Okay.
UAE, United Arab
Yeah,
Emirates,
in
and
Dubai, especially, I
Saudi
imagine.
Arabia.
Yes, I see. Mm, especially thinking about the example I just showed, the bag that I have here. I bought this, I think it was in 2020, and now it's due to a change. But I do see also in your website that your products, as you like to say, it's more about the quality than everything else. You don't do sales, you don't do discounts overnight so that people don't feel like they were robbed from their money, right? And this is amazing for you to do. But we're talking about products that last. What do you do in marketing terms, in strategy terms, to make sure that even though I just bought my first bag with you right now, I'll remember you by frequently, besides by wearing the bag, of course. But do you have anything extra in terms of digital, in terms of marketing that could help me remember you as the years go by and I still have my bag with me?
Maybe I am very naive in that, but I think that number one thing which will make you buy from us again is using your bag over a long period of time and be happy with it.
Yes, I imagine
So
so.
I think that's number one. Number two, it seems that people need some. reminder from time to time to check out, for example, if we have some new products,
Yeah.
because we have like a couple of products that we add to our website each year. A couple,
Hmm.
not many. We're not doing even 10 products per year, 10 new
Hmm.
products. It is 2, 3 on average per year. So from time to time, we do remind our existing customers and customer prospects that, hey, we have like new products, or we have existing products in new colors or in updated designs. So
Hmm.
things like that through the different marketing channels, such
Yeah.
as email marketing, meta platforms. What else?
SEO would be something you would do as well, I imagine.
Yeah, we are doing, of course, SEO as well, but in terms of reminding your existing customers of your existence,
Hmm.
SEO is not perhaps the best tool for that. So
Yeah.
meta platforms and email marketing platforms seem to be the ones that work the best
That's
in
nice to
that
know.
respect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where I also see, that's where I'm also impacted as a target, as a buyer.
Mhm.
That's where I also see the bags. On Instagram, scrolling for reels, and then a bag shows up. You click on the profile, you don't like it very much. Let's go back to scrolling, right? Nah, here's another bag for you. So, yeah, I do understand that this is a highly competitive market where, again, quality and support have to stand out. We were talking about how Messi stands out with his wow factor. Do you also see yourself with a certain specific wow factor? Quality delivery, shipment, the box that the bags comes in. Is there something that wows the customer that you are proud of?
We try to stay as humble as possible because being proud of anything hinders your future success. I'm 100% convinced of that. However, we received multiple constant feedback from happy customers who highlight the following things, and then I can elaborate on them.
Hmm.
So, number one feedback: great product, fantastic quality, very beautiful. So people are highlighting that they like the product they ordered. Then very often people are happy with the customer service, and usually it is that our customer service representatives were helpful. So the customer had some problem which we try to avoid by communicating in advance everything we
Oh, that's
can
great.
on the website, like to set the expectations clear. But sometimes, you're unable to put all the information on the website, or if you do, then not always people are reading or viewing the information you want them to view. So
Hmm.
still some questions prior to ordering will be asked, and if they arise, we try to be as helpful as possible. We guide our representatives to be as helpful as possible to solve the problem for the customer.
Hmm. Okay.
Quite often, this also seems to create this wow effect in customers' mind. And number three is the speed of shipping, of getting the order.
Yeah.
So, on average, even as of today, we are in Tallinn, Estonia, northeastern Europe.
Hmm.
Uh, Customers from certain parts of United States, for example, New York, or from London, they can get their orders as quickly as within 24 hours.
Wow, that's actually pretty fast.
Yeah, and we work our asses off to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I
we
imagine it wasn't simple.
Yeah, it takes a certain amount of dedication, focus, and it's stressful sometimes, but we try to do that. And also we try to set expectations about the delivery times as well as we can. So we try to avoid situation where when you see on the website that we estimate that you will get your order like 3 days from now, but you are getting it 5 days from now. We're trying to avoid those situations.
I
So
see.
like give as realistic expectation to the customer as possible. That's
That's
why
great.
we are trying to do. And what else about wow effect?
Was
So
that?
I yeah, sorry.
No, actually, I was thinking when you were mentioning how well you put things in the website. It is
Yeah.
true. I remember seeing the personalization field on your website saying if you do something like if you do this, then please add one day, one working day for the shipment process, right? So you are
Yeah.
indeed saying it out loud. And this reminded me of a friend of mine, Katarina, who is an SEO professional and she deals with content optimization for e-commerce. And she was showing me a tool regarding, you just put some information in an Excel sheet and the tool she created creates content for you to use in e-commerce. But this, of course, for companies who work with 100 products, 1,000 products, way more than what you're currently doing. If you can, if you can, after what you were saying, after I interrupt you, if you go back to what you were saying, and you can say it after, how do you do content for your website today in terms of the fields of the products, the description and everything else?
How do we do the descriptions and
Do you
provide
use
the
AI? Is it human? Are you the one writing it? It's Igor, his name, right?
yeah, Igor,
And
digital
where is
partner?
Igor from, by the way?
He's also from Estonia.
Okay, but the name and the
Also.
surname are so Latin, like I thought he was Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish, something like that. But yeah,
Yeah, I
content
understand.
writing in the website, how is it working for you guys?
So since English language is not the first language of ours,
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're okay at it, but it's not the first language. We're not super proficient in it. What we're doing, we are usually writing the description, and it depends. There is like up to 3 people in our team who do the content writing.
Okay.
But the style, the guidance for style of writing, it's given by management, by us.
Okay, I see.
And uh, so they do the description as well as they can.
Mm-hmm.
That's our process. After that, we provide our description to the professional English speaking
I see.
copywriter
I see.
who usually has to do some alterations to make it sound better, to improve the flow and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our process that has been working well for us so far.
Okay.
That's the descriptions. Yeah, and then trying, because there is no guarantee, even if you have all your descriptions, all the necessary information in, as you would think, in the best places possible, on the product page, on the category page, on the pages on of your website. Some people will miss those descriptions, they will not read it. Some people will read them but understand them in their own way, which
Some
would
people will
lead.
completely ignore what they're trying to say there,
And
right?
yeah, exactly. And we are super happy that we have rare cases where people really ignore what was written, but nevertheless, such cases do exist.
Yeah, I mean,
They do exist.
I see. I see. Awesome.
Yeah. But
Uh,
at least we are trying to do whatever we can to avoid not meeting the expectations of a customer.
that's um that's actually pretty. Not only is it pretty good advice, it looks like you play it very safely, you know, and that's great. You know that the customer might have doubts that they won't say it out loud. So you're already putting them in the website. You're making sure to educate them while they buy at your website. And again, especially if so many companies doing what you do and what everybody does. It's when we can stand out with the simple things, with small things like this, they usually are for the best, right? But what I saved for my
Right.
last question, not the last of one of the last though, is any lessons that you learn, ever since you started at Von Baer, that you would love to share with those listening? It doesn't have to be a positive one. You can say, hey, I thought this was good, it wasn't, don't do that. That's a lesson.
Yeah, great question. And I think if I start thinking, there will be lots of them. And I liked the part where you said, don't do that. Not do that and this will work, but don't do that. I like that part even more. What I would say is that as long as you don't have a good gut feeling,
Mm.
don't put too much resources, money, efforts, everything into that project, for example.
Well, this is a live. I usually ask a live question at the end. This is already it, Albert. Go on.
Yeah, so I would say that a good gut feeling, my experience so far, it's not a guarantee that you will succeed,
Hmm.
but quite often more often a lack of this good gut feeling, a positive expectation, a lack of it usually tends not to bring any good result.
I see.
So you have to listen to your gut feeling. And maybe it's easier said than done, but I would give this advice
Great to
to
know.
people.
Yeah.
And what else?
Oh, I do
I
have.
have to think. Give me a little
Of
bit of
course.
time. I try to.
Don't worry.
Okay, I found that advice. So before you were asking about the product market research, the market research,
Yeah.
like
Market
how do you
research phase.
identify the gaps in the market?
Hmm.
And there's certain methodology you can use, so many books written about it. So that's one way. And another way, which is in some cases it's the best way, but I think the best approach is combining both approaches. But the other approach is ignore completely what is being offered on the market already. Ignore hints of what people are, not hints, but ignore what you see of people using or utilizing some products already. Ignore that.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think it's Steve Jobs who said that people don't know what they want before you
Yeah, he
show it
said
to
that.
them.
Yeah, he said that.
And
Yes.
this approach very often has worked super well for us.
Ah,
So
that's great.
some of the best selling products that we have, we started them without doing any research.
Wow, that's
Any
great,
research.
actually.
Yeah, and I think overall a good strategy would be combining both approaches. So sometimes you should listen to your existing customers of what could be the next product you can offer to them or how you could improve the existing products. But sometimes you can just completely ignore like those hints and do what you think you is the best for you for the company, and combining both approaches, I think, yield the best results overall.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's what I was waiting for. Yes, I agree. I 100% agree. 100%. Can I shoot one last question before I let you go?
Yeah, sure. Please
And
go
it
on.
can be a quick one. Any technology or trends for 2025 that you're looking for that can help in your market?
Um, as of now, we feel we're happy with our current setup, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't, be alert to
Try to keep
any.
updated.
Yeah, keep updated and staying alert to new technologies that are arising.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that in e-commerce, especially when you're doing e-commerce only and people cannot come to your multiple stores over the world and see the products for themselves, I think that any tools that can communicate visually what the person will be buying. So I think one of the ways it's augmented reality.
That's a good one. It is indeed.
Yeah, where you can see the products in 3D
Yeah.
and see actually the visualization of the product in
Mm-hmm.
3D, and perhaps something like that is valuable. It seems a thing that can provide value. can set the expectations clear.
Mm-hmm.
It seems so. But at the same time, it's whenever any new technology comes out, you should definitely consider it and consider adopting it. But you shouldn't just adopt it for the sake of adoption.
Adoption. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Shouldn't be an early adopter at everything, right?
yeah, you shouldn't. But again, it's so individual.
Yes.
In some for some businesses, it's the augmented reality. I think it will be like it will work for them like a magic stick,
I
and
agree.
for some it will not produce any positive results. It really depends
Furniture, for
on
example, right?
industry.
Furnitures. Whenever we need to consider the size of a product, augmented reality is gonna help those customers get the product, right? So, but if we're
Exactly.
talking about, I don't know, talking about a laptop, talking about maybe a wallet, for example, I can see wallet and backpacks. I can actually see augmented reality. But it is as you said for a belt, for example, what are you gonna show in AR that you couldn't show in pictures, right? It's a
Yeah.
simple product. But yeah, well, that's it's a pity, but that's everything we have time to talk today, Albert. I really appreciate your time here. I really appreciate everything that you said, how much you shared about your business. As I said throughout this episode, people, please down in the description, you're gonna see Albert's website. You're gonna see Von Baer's website over there with their amazing products, which you should definitely take into consideration, especially with how fast they ship products, as he told us himself. Albert, anything else you would like to share with the guests here?
I would like to thank you, Victor,
Oh, no,
for this podcast, for this episode.
I'm the one.
You're very pleasant to talk to.
No, thank you. You're the
You
same.
ask great questions. I hope that your viewers will be able to take something back home from what they have heard today. Yeah, so it's the start of the new year, 2025. I would wish you to start this year with full energy and make this year the best one of your
Yeah.
life, hopefully so far.
Yes, that's it, everybody. So let's have the best years as we can. Albert, you're the best. Thank you so much. Everybody else, this has been Victor with Coffee with Experts. We almost post new episodes here either through me, Dawood, or Rame. Keep posted on our videos and we'll see each other next time. Albert, once again, thank you so much. Bye bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Victor. Bye bye.